Welcome to the Noga News Network. I'm Ricky French, here with Dan Colley.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Got a lot of fun stuff coming up on this, the 18th episode of the podcast.
Man, that's some good quality fade right there.
Hey, I learned from the best of them.
Who was that? Professor Fade von Fadenstein?
Bruce Dickinson.
Oh, well, you didn't.
I know.
Okay.
I'm making sure.
Let's start the show off with a big fat lie. There you go.
Usually what we say on the show is true or nonsense from our own brains.
Yeah, no, most of it's true. It's just,
right.
It is nonsense, most of it, yes.
All right. Well, let's, this thing that doesn't seem to be going away still, the pandemic.
Oh, I thought you meant that rash.
No, I got that cleared up.
Oh, good. Shot worked. Nice.
Yeah, the pandemic, it's a common topic of discussion here on the show because clearly it is affecting everyone.
Yeah,
It has been for quite some time.
Yeah, it's just this little thing we're dealing with globally.
Right. So I think you would agree with me that the pandemic was hard.
Yeah, it's been tough for everyone out there.
Yeah, and I think you would also agree that it's in some cases it's been harder for some people than it has been for others.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Mm-hmm.
And of course, the people that I'm referring to are the men who are responsible for the gigantic spike in erectile dysfunction drug sales.
That's got to suck for them real bad.
Been very hard for them. Very, very hard.
No, it hasn't been. It sounds like it wasn't, and then now it is again. Yeah. Okay.
This story is from Health Day News. Think the sex lives of Americans took a hit during the pandemic? Think again.
Ooh, dun dun dun.
A new research finds there's been a jump in sales of erectile dysfunction, or ED, as the young kids like to say.
Yeah, as the kids are saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! Jimmy's got ED."
I don't think that's ever happened.
Oh my God, can't believe it!
ED drugs,
Can't believe it. Chris can't get a heart on.
Especially Tadalafil, which is marketed as Cialis.
Oh yeah, the big C baby, that big blue bad boy
in the United States over the past year. Quote, we saw a huge spike in sales
I see what you did there, yeah.
of daily use erectile dysfunction drugs, which suggests that some people were having more spontaneous sex than ever. With their partners at home, they wanted to be always ready.
Or by themselves, we don't judge.
Yeah. Who knows? A study author, Dr. Benjamin Davies, a professor of urology at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine.
You know, the original name for that was going to be a doctor of bonerology, but it didn't make much sense.
His team compared the sales of ED drugs before March of 2020 and during the initial months of the pandemic, March to December of 2020. To account for other factors that might influence the sale of the drugs, such as access to pharmacies, the study authors also analyzed the sales of other urological drugs, which didn't change in the months after the pandemic was declared. So basically what they're saying is guys finally had time to spend with their wives, and they decided maybe we should bone down.
So what you're telling me is that if you're looking at a graph, like a line graph, for example,
yes,
during the pandemic early months,
right.
The line that would represent the sale of erectile dysfunction medication is now standing straight up.
Yeah. Yep, it's definitely pointing north.
So to speak. If I was, I want to get a job marketing, coming up with names, commercial names for drugs.
Okay.
Because I would name one like the Raging Rocket or Huge Mungus.
Well, I think you've basically just illustrated why you don't have a job naming
Well, see, but that's the thing. Like, it's like, I have to have Cialis. All right, Niles, you boring ass psychology professor. No wonder you can't get a boner. It's because you're boring. I've never not had a boner because I'm interesting, Ricky. Ricky. I've got one right now.
Oh, that's interesting in a bad way, I suppose.
Well, yeah.
Please move on.
Okay, so let's get. Well, I'm going to continue with the COVID talk, though. Is that all right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. So I'm looking at the headline here, and I'm already confused.
Well, that's not a surprise.
Who urges fully vaccinated people to continue to wear masks as Delta COVID variant spreads? Who is it?
No.
They could have told me who the hell they're talking about. Who?
Dan,
yeah, exactly. Who?
Dan.
What?
It's not who. It's
I can read.
The WHO, or in other words, the World Health Organization.
Why it says it down here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
there you go.
The WWE, I mean the World Health Organization. It'd be cool if it was like the WWE, wouldn't it? They'd be like, all right, listen here, guys. COVID's running rampant out there.
COVID-19, I'm going to tell you something, brother.
Ooh,
your reign of terror is over.
All right, COVID-19, we're going to body slam ya.
I'm going to crush you.
This Saturday at the Forum, me, COVID-19, in a steel cage match of doom. Thank you, Ricky. The World Health Organization, or as I would like to call them, WHO, on Friday, maybe I'll get a job at WHO instead. That'd be great. Where do you work? Who? No, where? No, who?
This is the same principle as the band The Who.
Yes. Yeah. They did Tommy. On Friday, urged fully vaccinated people to continue to wear masks, socially distance, and practice other COVID-19 pandemic safety measures as the highly contagious Delta variant spreads rapidly across the globe. Dr. Oh, man, why do you give me names like this?
I didn't give you anything.
Marangela Samau. I guess I could just pronounce them however I wanted to. No one knows the difference anyway.
Probably not.
So Dr. Manganella Simuni says people cannot feel safe just because they've had 2 doses. They still need to protect themselves. I felt safe because I've had 2 doses, and I'm going to be scared shitless again.
Well, yeah.
How am I supposed to go out and get my chicken nuggets and feel safe about my chicken nuggets now?
Well.
Damn it, Dr. Manganiello. Vaccine alone won't stop community transmission, Simono added. People need to continue to use masks consistently, be in ventilated spaces, hand hygiene, the physical distance, avoid crowding. This still continues to be extremely important, even if you're vaccinated when you've had a community transmission ongoing.
Well, if you ask me, that's some bullshit news, and I don't like it. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we don't doubt that COVID-19 is real and vaccines help and stuff. We just think it needs to fuck off at this point.
Right, we're just sick of it.
So the number of new infections in the U.S. has held steady over the last week at an average of 11,659 new cases per day, according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins University. I did say Johns, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
WHO officials said that they are fully... It actually says it this time. WHO officials said that they are fully...
I still think you call it the WHO, even when it's written that way.
You think so?
I do think so.
Okay. So Dr. Salmonella here is saying that fully vaccinated people... they need to continue to play it safe because large portions of the world remain unvaccinated and highly contagious. Variants like Delta are spreading in many countries, spurring outbreaks. You know, in Animal House, it was Delta House that was causing all the trouble, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
The airline sucks.
Yeah, indeed.
You might as well just name...
Indeed it does.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is.
Aptly named. All right.
And it sounds cool, too. It's like, Delta virus, get out there. You know, it's like a G.I. Joe subgroup or something.
Whatever you say, Dan.
I wish people had thought that way.
All right. Well, this is related to breathing problems, but in a much, much different way.
All right. I'll go with you on this one.
The story comes out of New Zealand. A woman in New Zealand is breathing a lot easier following the removal of a small plastic disc used in the game Tiddlywinks, which had been...
Did you say Tiddlywinks?
I did. I said Tiddlywinks, which had been lodged in her nose for nearly 4 decades.
How big is that fucking nose?
Almost as old as you, this Tiddlywink's piece.
How big is her nose, bro?
I don't know. Mary McCarthy always wondered why she would frequently have a pain on the right side of her nose, but managed to put it to the back of her mind as she went about her life.
That Tiddlywink piece almost ended up in the back of her mind, it sounds like.
Yes, exactly. However, after she had a nasal swab test for the coronavirus,
COVID-19 to the rescue.
There's the tie-in we needed. Last October, things got a lot more uncomfortable. The 45-year-old from Christchurch in New Zealand's South Island told Kiwi news outlet Stuff.
You thought I named shitty thing. Yeah, I was bad at naming stuff, man. That's
she told the Kiwi news outlet. She told New Zealand's hottest news outlet Stuff.
They're just behind the second hottest news outlet, Other Shit.
That her nose would be constantly leaking, she said.
That's fucking gross.
Yes. The doctor she asked for help told her that it was probably due to a chronic sinus condition. She told Stuff she had quite a lot going on in my life, so I pushed it into the background. But it started to become unbearable, and she was forced to go to the emergency department at the Christchurch Hospital where, quote, luckily the nurse and doctor believed it was more than sinus pain. They asked me if I ever put anything up my nose, she said, a question which spurred her to cast her mind back to her childhood.
I have a better question. How bad do you have to suck at tiddlywinks to get a tiddly or a wink or whatever the hell the damn plastic pieces are called stuck up your nose?
Well, they're called squidgers, just so you know. That's coming up next.
My God. Thank you so much for doing this show with me. So now I know the word squidger and aglet. My life is complete.
Yes. Well, my thought on the matter was it seems like shoving them up your nose is more entertaining than playing the game with the pieces.
I will have you know, sir, that I have a very good friend who has just recently purchased a Tiddlywink set in the last few weeks.
Well, good for them.
So that we could play said the Winks,
Well,
as the cool kids call it.
okay, well.
Hey, Ricky, you want to come over and have some Trulies and play the Winks?
No, we won't be doing that.
All right.
We're gonna stick to a strictly professional relationship here. No after hours tiddlywinking with you and I.
Come on, let me wink at that tittle.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Let me touch your squiggy.
She recalled
Squidgy.
at the age of 8, like many children, she loved to play tiddlywinks.
Wow.
It's illegal in most areas.
New Zealand must be really fucking boring.
The
dude.
game, invented in the UK and patented in 1888, sees players try to propel small discs called winks into a pot using another disc called a squidger.
I knew them one disc were called Winks.
Yes. She remembered...
Where did Tiddly come from?
I don't know, man. She remembered how, while playing with her siblings, they improvised the game a little by putting one piece up each nostril and blowing them out.
Holy hell, man.
One time I accidentally inhaled one instead of blowing it out, she said. I remember being terrified at the time, thinking, where has it gone? She soon forgot about the incident, although she said she always had problems breathing through her nose, but never gave it much thought. Medical staff discovered the reason why after a CT scan revealed an object in her upper nose.
Jeez.
Right in the upper nose.
Yeah.
Not the mid or lower nose.
No, you got to shove that wink all the way up in there.
So
was it the wink or was it the squidgy?
I think it was the squidger.
Squidger.
Let's see.
That sounds like some made-up Harry Potter shit.
It does, and it definitely does. Too big to remove it while unconscious. The object was taken out during an operation where it was pushed through her nose and out into her mouth, which is horrifying. But
That'll teach her.
when I woke, I said, "What was it?" And they said it was the laugh of the hospital, a tiddlywink, and it hadn't even lost its color. The hospital kitchen worker told Stuff. So this news outlet called Stuff the best they could do, and finding somebody to interview on this story was somebody that worked in the goddamn kitchen at the hospital.
And this is stuff where we'd like to speak to someone about the Tiddlywink incident. Let me go ahead and transfer you down to the commissary.
Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever.
That's the best they could do, huh?
Yeah, it's a real crackerjack news outlet. I venture to say that Stuff might be a worse news outlet than we are, and that's bad, folks.
Yeah, that's... Well, Ricky, let's continue to do the best we can, I guess. And, well, if this is the best I can do, we're in trouble. Hit that button. Ricky, you think a realtor trying to sell a home for $590,000 that she's described as a little slice of hell would have a devil of a time doing it.
Hilarious joke.
But realtor Mimi Foster said that a dilapidated 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom Colorado Springs home adorned in spray paint saying, "Suck my ass."
Wait a minute. The previous owners were fans of the show?
Yes, evidently. And feces stuffed in drawers is a pretty hot commodity.
Yeah, that sounds like our demo.
And that's our people right there. Foster told local news channel Denver 7, not related to Stuff, she has received 16 written cash offers in the first 24 hours of the house being on the market. She explained to the outlet that the housing market in Colorado is red hot, and there's vastly fewer listings than usual, and most houses are selling as is. In Foster's listing for the literal House of Horrors posted to Redfin, the realtor was brutally honest in her descriptions of the home, which she says is not for the faint of heart. As you enter, there are soaring ceilings and an open floor plan with a second floor overlook. That sounds lovely. Foster wrote in her listing, "You will also notice that there is not one surface in the house that has not been enhanced with black spray paint or a swinging hammer." I got a swinging hammer over here. She added, "But don't let that slow you down. It's not nearly as daunting as the freezer in the basement that's full of meat. It hasn't had electricity for over a year, so don't open that." She noted that the back's patio, don't go out there if the deck is not necessarily attached to the house. Holy shit. And she admits that the home is located in the pink of a geological landslide area. There's human feces and animal feces left in the living room to greet you as you walk in. She says the prior tenant had a menagerie of animals and that the carpets are saturated with piss. Well, she said urine, but this is middle news. She also said that spray-painted vulgarities around the house are also on the appliance, and that the prior tenant stole the stove and dishwasher, and in the basement, the drawers are crammed with feces.
Sounds pretty gross.
Yeah, I don't want to live there. I mean, I guess I could buy that. Okay, so if you drop almost $600,000 for this shitty house, literally, then how much do you think you got to put in that thing to make it? I mean, I'd leave suck my balls or suck my ass and stuff like that on the walls, obviously.
Of course you would.
That's art. But, I mean, no, seriously, you have to drop another couple $100K in that house just to get it up and running, man.
Yeah, probably, but it's like anything. If it's, like the story said, if it's one of those areas where houses are selling for ridiculous amounts of money, which is more or less everywhere, but in some areas way more than others, then just the structure itself and the area that it is probably enough to turn a profit, which is probably what somebody's trying to do.
Man, I don't know. That place seems brutal.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, man.
All right, one last story in the first segment. This comes out of St. Louis.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah.
A St. Louis newscaster was mocked on Thursday after Twitter users suggested a photo about an upcoming story on teen drug use was staged.
No. Why would... No, the news doesn't stage things. Media doesn't stage things.
Never.
We don't stage any of this.
Never. Never have. Never will.
Why start now?
Paige Hulsey, an anchor/reporter at CBS affiliate KMOV, took to social media to promote a story about how a parent can tell if their teenager is doing drugs.
Are you on the marijuana, Billy?
Are you doing pot? The tweet was accompanied by a photo of what Halsey suggested was a normal teen's bedroom, quote unquote, and therein lies the problem.
Now, Ricky, will you be adding this photo to the Facebook page?
No, but you will be.
Well, surprise on me, I guess.
So this is what that.
You better send it to my phone because the computer doesn't want to do it.
Well, yeah, there's been a round of computer issues.
Yeah.
This is that reporter's tweet. Looks like a normal teen's bedroom, right? Think again.
Dun dun dun. Oh wait. Oh wait. Dun dun dun.
Right.
I always forget that button.
Coming up on KMOV, we'll show you what parents should be looking for so they can identify signs of drug use. I was shocked at what I found in this room.
You put it in the room first. Okay.
So then, but here's why this is interesting. The room in question is clearly a fucking empty room in an office building that they made to look like.
Everybody go ahead and check out our Facebook page right now because the photo will be there. Yeah, first of all, that is...
And we should probably put it on Twitter also.
We'll put it on Twitter as well. The the picture we're looking at here from the tweet, this is... Okay, so that's like an air mattress with like a blue cover on it.
Right, yeah.
There is a tie-dye wall drape, blue taped to the wall.
It wasn't even a real production. They didn't use gaffer's tape to.
There's a mile 420 sign on the wall. There are studio lights in the photo that she took and tweeted.
Yes, it's clearly they have those generic office carpet tiles on the floor. You can obviously tell it's an office building.
So if you were going to do that and stage it for your story, fine, whatever, cool. Can you make sure that the photo you took wasn't from the B-roll of your camera and actually got so it looked like a legit room at least?
So the Twitter users lit this lady up on this ridiculous notion that this was a real bedroom.
I would hope so.
One of the funnier ones that I saw, it came from a guy named Max Kennerly. He said, quote, "Yes, I'd be very concerned if my teen lived in what is obviously a commercial office space hastily decorated to look like a 45-year-old's idea of a teenager's bedroom with subversive elements like tie-dye and Catch-22.
Get him, Max. There you go.
That was a good one. That's the way I like to poke fun at WSYX on their Facebook page.
Well, you know what is funny is we will do these stories, and then a week later, I will see I'm using air quotes here, legitimate news source doing the same story, and I always post the episode and go, "Scooped you,
bitch,
scooped you, bitch." Hey, we're a bunch of dumbasses in the middle of nowhere. We scooped your shit. Get wrecked.
Another tweet.
It's usually a Fox station.
Another tweet by Mr. T.S. Pumpkins, which I believe is Thomas S. Pumpkins.
I'm Thomas S. Pumpkins. I'm someone's brother, man.
I said Joe Friday and Frank Smith are very concerned.
Oh, jeez.
Dragnet reference,
obviously. For all you old people.
And then Mr. Mark Friesen on Twitter says, "Lotion bottle, Kleenex, Us Magazine. I think you know what this means. Your kid is a chronic jerker in 1985.
The only thing they were missing there is the Victoria's Secrets catalog.
Exactly.
The big J.C. Penney catalog.
Yes, if you got desperate enough, the J.C. Penney.
That's right.
All right. What's coming up?
I wouldn't be worried about the pod. I'd be worried about the jerkin.
What's coming up, Dan, in the second segment of the show?
I prefer my ice shaved, Ricky.
Oh, Lord.
That's so hot. And sun crack.
All right. Well, I guess we'll find out what that is later. Nooka News Network, the news nobody cares about.
Nooka News Network.
All right, Dan, I went out to the store today because I knew, of course, you were coming over and we were going to record.
Yeah, I need snacks, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I got some snacks. However, The unfortunate thing was none of those snacks keep you pacified and happy, as well as Grandma Bev's good-ass popcorn, which I didn't have on hand.
That's true, because the popcorn is good ass. And I distinctly told you that I wanted some of that cinnamon roll popcorn.
Yeah, you're really missing out on that. I've had it. It's really, really good.
You dirty bastard.
I know. They've got that. They've got other sweet flavors, like the caramel corn, which is fantastic, and your classic kettle corn, very good as well. But your favorite that we've had so far happened to be the white cheddar ghost pepper, which is delicious.
Yeah, I was surprised because I'm kind of a wuss for heat, but it was really good. So everyone, try that out. Go to grandmabevs.shop and get you 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 bags. It doesn't matter, man.
Whatever your popcorn craving heart desires, Grandma Bev's good-ass popcorn at grandmabevs.shop. Going to get you some.
You know, Ricky, with the 4th of July right around the corner, that reminds me that freedom isn't free. Okay. And neither are our shirts at the Monocle store, but they are going to be discounted for the next 2 weeks in celebration of America's birthday, Ricky.
Well, that's news to me. We didn't discuss this before.
So everyone out there, for the next 2 weeks, go to the Monocle News store, it is monoclenews.store, and pick out the apparel items that your little heart desires and enter the code. Okay, well, I wanted the code to be, hey, suck these nuts, King George, but that was too many letters. So it's just going to be freedom. So just type in freedom and you will get, for honor of 4th of July, you will get 4% off apparel items for the next 2 weeks at the monoclenews.store.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. I got some work to do.
Yeah, you better start typing that shit in the thing. Can we make it suck these nuts, King George?
No. Welcome back to the Monocle News Network, the news no one cares about. I'm Ricky French, here with Dan Colley.
Yep, I'm still here. Yep.
Yeah, Dan's always here. All right. Doing a more or less a summer segment.
Yeah, this is pretty summertime heavy here. It's I'm going to get you started by letting you know why people are standing around and looking at a crack, Ricky.
Well, and it's not involved with OnlyFans?
No, it is not.
Okay,
well, these are fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are about 10 people gathered on a sidewalk in Knoll Valley. Their heads are bent toward the ground. Some hold noisemakers. Some hold shakers. One woman stands alone, and there's some smudging going on with sage. Are you intrigued yet?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
All right. This cast of characters on Sanchez Street and 30th are stopping to look for something most of us don't think about on a day-to-day basis. They are seeking out the light.
Okay.
All right. You still with me, right?
Yeah, real curious to see where this is headed.
All right. So to be more precise, they're waiting for that moment about 4:25 p.m. in the summer when the sun peeks through a crack between two houses and aligns with a yellow line painted on the ground. The line reads, "Solstice sun crack returns."
The old solstice sun crack.
That is correct. The sun crack aligns perfectly with the yellow line on one day of the year, the summer solstice, which fell on Sunday this year. On this day, the neighborhood gathers to celebrate the longest day of the year. It's an auspicious time. Are you impressed I said auspicious?
Yeah, in fact, I am.
A time for bonfires and feasts and debauchery, all to celebrate the midsummer season. Jenny Badger Sultan, an artist who has lived on the block since 1986, painted the line decades ago. She got a bucket of yellow paint and traced the sun as it peeked through the cracks.
Did it take a whole bucket to paint a crack?
No, obviously not. It's been there for a long time. In fact, this is the second iteration because the first one was a piece of concrete that had to be taken out. It's also a piece of shit idea. So essentially, they are celebrating the summer solstice, which I actually kind of, I observe it. But there were a bunch of crackpots standing around looking at a line on the ground. It was kind of weird.
All right, you druid bastard.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't say druid. Heathen. Go with heathen.
I don't think druid is derogatory.
I don't talk to trees.
You barely communicate with people. I have no idea how you would communicate with trees.
Probably the same way. Give them a dirty look. Mumble.
Give them the finger occasionally.
Oh, obviously. I do. I have given a tree a finger before.
That's for some reason that doesn't surprise me at all.
Fucking trees standing there thinking they're all better than us. Look at me. I'm years old. I'm a tree. Birds live in me.
See what you say when you lose your leaves, motherfucker.
That's right, you smart ass.
All right, let's move on, for the love of God.
All right, what do you got?
All right.
Let's stay in the summer, because in the summertime,
Yes, I do know. It's summer, which means the sun is out, and temperatures are warming to the highest points of the year.
Point of order, the sun is out other times of the year as well.
Right, unless you live like at the North Pole or something where it's dark for half the year or part of the year or whatever it is.
Is this story from Santa's workshop?
No, it's from some unspecified place in the Pacific Northwest, apparently.
Well, okay. All right. So like Bend, Oregon?
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Oh, okay.
For the Pacific Northwest this weekend, temperatures may reach record-breaking points. I would have gone with record-breaking highs, but who am I to argue?
The one who's reading the story can say whatever you want?
Yes, that's me. The region is expected to experience a historic heat wave that brings temperatures well over 100 degrees in some areas.
That sounds warm.
That's real hot, especially for the Pacific Northwest. It usually
Oh,
doesn't get
sure, yeah.
As the summer heat intensifies, the United Farm Workers tweeted, in part, United Farm Workers.
I thought you were going to say United Dairy Farmers for a second.
Heat is the leading weather-related killer. Others have made similar claims. So the way this...
Wait. So you're walking down the street there with your best gal after having seen a movie, maybe having a malted.
A talkie?
Yeah. Get to see a talkie, you say. And you go by some alleyway and you hear, hey, psst, this is heat. I'm going to kill you.
Well...
In your sleep. You just wait. You're going to go to get a shower when you're done tonight after this date. And then all of a sudden the lights are going off and I'm going to kill you. I'm waiting in your closet.
You look like a couple of dead motherfuckers. My take on heat is...
fucking, your heat is like nasty, man. My heat was like the dude that killed fucking Batman's parents. Your heat is like Charles Manson and shit. You look like some dead motherfuckers to me. Helter Skelter.
So the way this is laid out is annoying. The way this story is laid out.
Oh, I thought you meant the show in general.
No, you got that too. But the way this particular story is laid out is very annoying. So it says in big bold letters, the question.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is heat the leading weather-related killer in the U.S.?
Are you asking me?
And then no, I'm telling you that's what it says. And then we have in bold letters the sources. The CDC, being the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and the National Weather Service, and then the answer.
How about NOAA?
No, the National Weather Service, not the whatever NOAA is. I don't remember.
The National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration.
Yeah, well, they get involved when there are hurricanes. I think.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
way that works.
So basically, Weather Service told them to fuck off.
Yes. So then...
Hi, this is Jim from NOAA. Click.
So, and then we have, in bold letters, the answer. That this is true. Yes, historically, heat has led to the most weather-related deaths in the United States.
Well, yeah, because like in the 1920s, no one had air conditioning. Everyone just baked to death out in the Dust Bowl.
That's true. The CDC says floods are the second deadliest weather-related hazard in the U.S., accounting for about 98 deaths per year. But heat, those account for 618 people on average per year dying. So by far the leader.
So this is by yearly, essentially, is the numbers they used.
An average per year, sure.
Okay.
So, there's really no reason to get into most of this.
Do you have any other weather phenomena in their statistics, like how many times a hailstone killed somebody, or
No, I don't have that. I believe over the last 10 years, heat, floods, and tornadoes have been the top weather-related killers in the U.S., according to the National Weather Service.
Wasn't that a song by Muddy Rivers?
Maybe. In 2020, tornadoes led the death toll.
Oh, all right. Tornadoes, way to step up.
So anyway, they mentioned that people most at risk are who you would think: older adults, young children, people with mental illness, and other chronic diseases.
Oh, man. I'm in trouble.
And then they give you some real useful tips
on
okay. Staying cool.
All right. Well, with 3 federally funded government agencies involved, there's got to be some good stuff.
Right. To stay cool, people should drink cold beverages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rest.
Okay, makes sense. Sure.
In other words, don't go out at noon and run a marathon during a heat wave.
Oh, I wouldn't do
Not a
that
good
anyway.
move. Yeah, me either. Take a cold shower or bath.
I thought that's what you do when you got a boner.
Seek a place with air conditioning.
Okay. All right. I'm with you so far. Yeah.
And wear lightweight clothing. So don't wear a wool coat outside.
So I should put my puffer jacket away right now, huh?
Yeah, so...
Wait. Was that all the tips?
Yeah.
Oh, so...
And where would we be without them, Dan?
Yeah, some real breakthrough information there, folks.
Yeah, it's...
Hopefully we get to save a life now.
I'm glad they were around, because otherwise, how would I know not to die?
Well, Ricky, let's continue to talk about summer, and let's talk about the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Coming up.
That has to be by far the biggest summer holiday.
I still think my birthday's bigger than this. So there's a Hy-Vee grocery store in Eagan up in Minnesota.
Okay.
It's closed until further notice because of a fire Monday. Eagan police said that they were notified of the blaze at the grocery store located at 1500 Central Park Commons Drive around 2:19 p.m. Sergeant Joe Mosing told, here's another great named media outlet, Bring Me the News.
I wonder how they stack up against Stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, Stuff talks about other things, not just news, probably just
stuff. Various stuff.
But it wasn't just a general blaze because some fireworks in the store were set on fire.
Oh, that sounds bad.
So the Eagan Fire Department responded and put out the fire. Nobody was injured, but I guess there were some juveniles that were dicking around and probably has caused this. All right, Ricky, go ahead and fire off that audio, bud.
Those little assholes! We should go.
The smoke alarms are going to go off any minute.
Let's go.
So as you can tell, they were set off by some assholes, and then Mr. Wizard there said, "Let's get the hell out of here." That's some smart work there.
Yeah, I think I'm on their side with that.
There you go.
Those assholes.
That's them assholes. Well, Ricky, with fireworks just around the corner, we should talk to our newest contributor here to the Monocle News Network, our fire and safety expert.
Yeah, we are pleased to welcome Chief Myers, the Monocle News Network fire safety expert, to the show. Let's hear what he has to say about keeping everyone safe as you celebrate this 4th of July. Chief, thanks for joining us on the podcast. It's great to have you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course.
All right, now, with the 4th of July coming up, I know there's some word that you'd like to get out on keeping people safe as they celebrate Independence Day and get into things that can be a little bit dangerous with the fireworks.
Oh, and that's it. I mean, there are so many burning questions about the 4th of July because last year we didn't really get to go out. There was no chance for the big buildup. No one had the release. And so we're furious, up in flames. You're thinking about what can I do to spark my interest for the 4th of July? I have so many questions. You have so many answers. Let's talk about it.
Okay, well, you sound very enthusiastic, so we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
Or I would like to ask you, say you've got some consumer fireworks and you want to set them off. What's the best location to be able to do that?
Oh, I mean, you have to think about it. Are you trying to burn up the dance floor, or are you trying to burn up the backyard? And right now, no one needs to burn up the backyard. Look out west. No one needs that. And so when we think about the weather, plan for the hot times. Look for the spicy edges. Find your moment. But don't light it on fire. Have a little respect this 4th of July.
Okay, Chief. So if something does go awry with the fireworks display, and someone does set a little patch of grass on fire, and they think they can put it out, should they go ahead and just do it and not bother the fire service industry, or should they call for help right away?
Oh, that's a heated argument. As far as I'm concerned, we're talking about burning it out. So you keep the idea, you make sure you're there, maybe keep a cold one, possibly 3. Good chance to meet your neighbors. Happy 4th of July. Good opportunity to go back out. No one last year socialized. Amplify your socialization. You got a fire growing in you to go out and find a new neighbor. Find them this 4th of July. Anyway, as I said, set your soul on fire. Yes, Dan, I would agree.
All right, Chief. So, in your experience, is there an uptick of personal injuries or damage to property as people are, getting careless with fireworks around the 4th of July?
That's an excellent question. This year, I am primarily concerned about Billy Joel.
Okay, well, that's an interesting take on it. Tell us why that specificity and your concern.
Well, when will you realize that Vienna waits for you?
Do you serve somewhere close to where Billy's residence is, so you would have to respond to any issues with him, or are you just a fan and hope well wishes towards him?
Well, my friend, I feel like that opens a Dante's Inferno type situation where we have to ask ourselves a number of critical questions around the 4th, fire safety, and what we are trying to find deep inside in our loins. And as we think about where it takes us, what are we trying to accomplish this 4th? Do we have extra pent-up frustrations that we need to release? And if so, how big must that rocket be?
I guess you bring up good points, Chief.
So basically what you're saying is everyone should just go out and have a good time and be careful?
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I would say,
All right, Chief. Well, we appreciate your insight into all this. If there's one piece of advice that you could give people as the holiday approaches to help everyone have a good time and keep people safe, what would that piece of advice be?
Oh, as you're warming up, just make sure that you've always got a nice, cool beverage, a nice, good plan, and if necessary, bail money on hand.
Words to live by. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief Myers. We appreciate your insight. We hope to be able to talk to you again if we have other fire safety questions in the future.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. My passion is set afire to speak to fine gentlemen such as yourself. Happy 4th of July.
You too, Chief.
Thanks, Chief. See ya.
Thanks a lot.
All right, well, again, thanks, Chief.
Chief is, he's a knowledgeable guy. He's coming out of left field a lot of the time, but, there's some pearls of wisdom in there.
I think he set the fucking field on fire.
I guess.
Where do you find these guys?
Well, Dan, we're on a tight budget, so.
We paid him?
Well, no, that's what I mean by tight budget. He may have been paid in various items that look like forms of candy that kids shouldn't have. That's all I'm going to say.
Nerd ropes.
Yeah, a certain form of nerd rope.
I thought maybe you paid him. He's going to sink his entire budget into Dogecoin, so the way it's been performing so stellar.
How do you think I had the money for the edibles?
Well, all I know is I'm glad that you're in charge of recruitment because you're the HR guy around here, I guess.
Well, it's no easy task. Put it that way. All right. Let's continue with the hot summer heat themed stories, Dan.
Hot in the city.
This comes out of a notoriously warm state of the Union.
Oh, you mean Minnesota?
No, I mean Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be warmer there.
Extremely high demand for ice is causing a brain freeze. Oh, Jesus, that's horrible.
But how are you going to have a brain freeze if you need ice?
Yeah, that's the problem I have with how this is written, too.
Oh, I see now. Yes, of course. Yes.
Jesus. Extremely high demand for ice is causing a quote-unquote brain freeze for some local ice suppliers in Honolulu.
Oh, okay.
The challenge to meet those demands is also trickling down to local businesses in Hawaii. Quote, this past Tuesday, I think, was the first time we ever had no ice, said Kendall Shimazu, owner of Shimazu Shave Ice.
Ah, the shaved ice
The
establishment.
world-renowned Shimazu Shave Ice.
A Hawaiian shaved ice establishment, you say?
Yes. We never had it where I couldn't completely open, but it just happened.
Do you think they shave it manually or do they use an electric shaver?
Well, you'll have to ask Kendall yourself.
I don't want to do that.
Shimazu Shave Ice is opening a little later to have enough ice for everyone to enjoy, and that is not all. Right now, we're only doing small and kid sizes, and they're still pretty big. They probably look bigger because they shave it.
Well,
by the way. That's something I've heard before.
That's what I've always used as a trick. I learned the prestige. Boom, there it is.
One time someone came in and ordered 10 larges. After that, I was like, we can't keep doing this because we're going to run out of ice, Shimazu said.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
Ice suppliers are working overtime to meet the demand. Because of the machines being run so much and overtime, actually one of our machines broke down recently, said Kurt Osaki, owner of Alii Ice and Kauai Ice. So he's got a couple different ice brands going.
There you go. Well, that's diversification. That's a good idea right there.
Yes.
If he was smart, he'd pit them both against each other in a bidding war.
Yeah. Well,
they make Shimazu or the Schnoz or whatever, and it was go and pay high dollar for ice.
That's probably what they're doing.
You know what? If she can't shave the ice quick enough, perhaps you should just wax the ice, and then that way it won't come back as quick.
Yeah, well, sure. We're seeing this year that we're selling a larger volume of ice than we were in 2019, and it's also hotter.
I've never shaved my ice.
Well, it is hotter. I will say that. That was from Michael Wildberger, owner of Key High Ice Company.
Are you sure it's Key High?
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
A mixture of loosened restrictions, summer, and tourism is building up the need for ice. But how hard is it to make more?
I don't know. You put water in your tray and you put it in the freezer.
Yeah, it seems pretty easy to me. Yeah. This is a quote from Mr. Osaki. Our ice process takes anywhere from 16 to 20 hours to generate more people to fill the bin. What the fuck? They're making the ice out of people?
Are you sure was that the Soylent Green Ice Company's what that is?
Holy fuck. well,
don't eat. Hey, everyone. This is okay, Ricky, turn it. Hey, I'm going to break in here real quick to the episode. This is Dan. If anyone goes to Hawaii, don't eat the ice. I know you guys thought it was bad not to have the ice in Mexico. No, the ice in Mexico will just give you the shits. But if you eat the ice in Hawaii, you're eating people.
The ice is made of people!
You bastard!
Jeez, that was a left turn. Man.
So
please move on, Dan.
That was pretty fucked up, Ricky. Uh-huh. Hey, speaking of fucked up. Never be it said that we are not equal opportunity assholes here. Because this episode is not a Florida Man segment. It is a Florida Whoa Man segment.
Yeah, well, I'm all for it.
A Florida woman with the last name Booze was busted for driving drunk.
Of course.
After she allegedly slammed her car into a Taco Bell sign and then sped off, according to cops.
Oh, that's only in Florida.
Yeah. So good old Kanisha Booze, 34 of St. Petersburg, was arrested when an officer spotted her allegedly speeding through two red lights near the fast food joint at 10:20 p.m. Friday, according to the Smoking Gun. Why do they not just name them something normal?
I'd like to see how the smoking gun stacks up against Stuff and what was the other one? The news.
Bring me the news.
Bring me the news.
Yeah, they're all pretty ridiculous. When a cop confronted the aptly named driver, she was allegedly wobbly.
Is that a technical term? Wobbly?
Yeah, they're
How do you determine wobbliness?
they're highly trained officers down there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
She also had, quote, bloodshot, watery eyes and an odor of alcoholic beverage on her breath, according to a police report cited by the outlet, which notes she refused to perform a breath test. Booze, who works at the Taco Bell where she crashed, bet she doesn't anymore, was charged with driving under the influence, leaving the scene of an accident, and driving with a suspended or revoked license. She was released from jail Saturday morning after posting $17.50 bond. That's a big-ass bond.
Oh, I thought you meant $17.50.
No.
That's what's that, like 3 Crunchwrap Supremes?
I don't know. I'll have to find out when I leave. Booze has previously been convicted 7 times for driving without a license and once for grand theft.
Booze has also previously been convicted of making this show bearable.
Booze has also been convicted of getting me a few dates.
All right, Dan. Let's fucking wrap this thing up finally. What's coming up in the last segment of the show?
Well, more hilarity, hopefully a few lessons that we're all going to learn, and we'll get to... No, I'm sorry.
That sounds like a big promise.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a spicy shootout. We're going to be driving out the demons of inflation. And finally, a reason to wear a monocle and get hammered.
That sounds good to me. Noka News Network, the news no one cares about. All right, Dan, I went out to the store today, so I knew, of course, you were coming over and we were going to record.
Yeah, I need snacks, man.
Right. And
Yeah.
I got some snacks. However, the unfortunate thing was none of those snacks keep you pacified and happy, as well as Grandma Bev's good-ass popcorn, which I didn't have on hand.
That's true, because the popcorn is good ass. And I distinctly told you that I wanted some of that cinnamon roll popcorn.
Yeah, you're really missing out on that. I've had it. It's really, really good.
Dirty bastard.
I know. They've got that. They've got other sweet flavors, like the caramel corn, which is fantastic, and your classic kettle corn, very good as well. But your favorite that we've had so far happened to be the white cheddar ghost pepper, which is delicious.
Yeah, I was surprised because I'm kind of a wuss for heat, but it was really good. So everyone, try that out. Go to grandmabevs.shop and get you 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 bags. It doesn't matter, man.
Whatever your popcorn craving heart desires, Grandma Bev's good-ass popcorn at grandmabevs.shop. Gonna get you some.
You know, Ricky, with the 4th of July right around the corner, that reminds me that freedom isn't free.
Okay.
And neither are our shirts at the Noka store, but they are going to be discounted for the next 2 weeks in celebration of America's birthday, Ricky.
Well, that's news to me. We didn't discuss this before.
So everyone out there, for the next 2 weeks, go to the Noka News store. It is nokanews.store and pick out the apparel items that your little heart desires and enter the code. Okay, well, I wanted the code to be, hey, suck these nuts, King George, but that was too many letters. So it's just going to be freedom. So just type in freedom and you will get, for honor of 4th of July, you will get 4% off apparel items for the next 2 weeks at the nokanews.store.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. I got some work to do. I
Yeah,
guess.
you better start typing that shit in the thing. Can we make it suck these nuts, King George?
No. Welcome back. Noka News Network. News no one cares about. I'm Ricky French here with Dan Colley.
Man, I'm dreaming of a ham and cheese right now.
How about a moon's over my hammy?
Nope.
It's about the time of day that would be good. The only time of day.
There's never a time
Well, not good for your digestive system, but just tasty.
Is that a Denny's thing?
Yes.
Is there a Denny's around here?
Oh, yeah. It's just a mere couple blocks away.
Ugh. You're going to make me go to Denny's one of these nights, aren't you?
No, I think tonight might be the night.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. I got speaking of food, an interesting course of events transpired at a Memphis Burger King.
I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom, you know.
Well, I've heard that about you and another guy.
Me and Humpty.
Yes.
R.I.P. Humpty.
R.I.P.
Can't believe we lost another one of this country's great songwriters.
I'll pour some out, but I don't have any 40s handy.
No. Oh, and by the way, I never got busy in a
I didn't think you did. Tennessee police arrested 2 people accused of shooting up a Burger King after a dispute over a spicy chicken sandwich. Sounds reasonable.
Okay, all right, I'm intrigued. You've got my attention. Go ahead.
Tavares McKinney, 22, and Kiana Halliburton, no relation, 20 years old. Somehow I don't think all that Iraq oil money made it to this particular individual.
No problem.
Reportedly got into a fight June 6th with employees at a Memphis Burger King after Halliburton complained.
Let me guess. The sandwich wasn't spicy enough. It was bland.
Well, on the contrary, Dan, she complained that her sandwich had too much hot sauce on it.
No.
Yeah, I didn't believe it either. The pair left the restaurant only to return a few minutes later and start shooting.
Well, shit, they were strapped when they came back, huh?
Yes, they were.
All right.
Injuring 2 people, according to Fox 13 Memphis. 4 witnesses.
It was all fun and games till 2 people got injured.
That's right. 4 witnesses identified McKinney and Halliburton to police, and they were arrested Wednesday. McKinney's background check reportedly revealed 9 previous cases and 10 warrants with charges including aggravated assault, kidnapping, and domestic assault.
All right, don't let them back out.
Yeah,
at that point, they don't need to be back out.
Yeah, if you're so off your rocker that the problem with your chicken sandwich results in you shooting people.
I'm all for people having a second chance, but your 13th chance, and it was over spicy chicken sandwich.
Yes. You ordered the damn spicy chicken sandwich. You take all the spice, and you like it. Halliburton is scheduled to appear in court on June 28th, facing charges of attempted first-degree murder and employment of a firearm during a felony. WRG reporter. So there's a possibility, murder. You could be in jail for quite some time over that one. So maybe
I don't think they should be let back out anymore. Seriously, there are some issues there.
McKinney's court date has not been scheduled yet. There was another Burger King shooting in Tennessee in April after a customer got fed up with the long wait in the drive-thru.
Okay, that one I can support that one. Let's talk about another police action in a retail establishment.
Please do.
Now, the police were called to a Home Depot in Pennsylvania, in Lackawanna County.
Oh, the county in which Dunder Mifflin has an office.
Correct. I believe the Frog also broadcasts.
Froggy 107, I think.
I believe you're right. So they were called to a Home Depot to break up in the lumber aisle an exorcism.
Okay.
Details are scarce on just what the hell was going on inside the Home Depot on Commerce Drive.
Well, that's unfortunate because I've got a lot of questions.
Now, first of all, if you have questions, don't ask anyone in a Home Depot because none of them have an answer.
Well, no, I already know that.
Right. Evidently it happened on Monday afternoon. Police were called around 3:26 p.m. to escort several people out of the store for quote unquote bad behavior.
Holding an exorcism in the lumber aisle, I guess that's bad.
I don't know if it's bad or not, but
it depends on how you look at it, I suppose.
It's a bit odd, I would assume. According to reports, the exorcism was held for the trees that had been turned into lumber. Now, see, that is a druid.
Yeah, okay. You got me.
The police blotter item posted on the Dickinson City Police Facebook page.
That'd be Dixon City. There's a mall there that Michael Scott took the women from the office to. Go ahead.
The Facebook page gave few clues as to what happened, simply saying 3:26 p.m. Commerce Boulevard at Home Depot for disorderly people having an exorcism in the lumber aisle for the dead trees. They were escorted out of the building.
I sort of like the fact that they thought that was enough information. Like there was no further explanation.
Well, Ricky, you are one of a kind, but you are not alone because there's been close to 200 comments on the post begging for more details.
I gotcha.
According to reports, no charges have been filed at this time, and there is no indication the incident had anything to do with the price of lumber.
No. So
R.I.P. trees.
That means
R.I.P.
That means that what I named this story is all wrong. Then, if it didn't have anything to do with the price of lumber.
Well, we don't really know why. They just thought that maybe the trees had been murdered and they were haunting the lumber, I guess, at this point.
You know, I don't think a lot of people would say that holding an exorcism in the Home Depot lumber aisle is normal.
No, mostly in plumbing.
Yeah. That's usually where they go down. In fact, you might say that holding an exorcism anywhere, but in particular at Home Depot, is paranormal.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it at Lowe's, I guess. But
Yeah, well, Menards, they don't give a shit.
no, they do not.
No.
As long as you're saving big money.
Yeah. You get 11% back on your exorcism supplies. And you can buy like Doritos and shit there. They don't have that at the other places.
Cheese boodles.
Right. All right. This is a big week for paranormal news, actually, Dan.
Okay. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Finally.
I almost fell off my seat.
Finally, the Pentagon has released their unidentified aerial phenomenon report to Congress.
Oh, man. I haven't been this excited since waiting to see who shot JR.
You idiot. All right. The U.S. intelligence community on Friday released its long-awaited report on what it knows about a series of mysterious flying objects that have been seen moving through restricted military airspace over the last several decades.
Or more correctly, what they're willing to admit.
Yeah, sure. Of course. In short, the answer, according to Friday's report, is very little.
Well,
yeah, that's saw that coming. But the intelligence community's release of the unclassified document marks one of the first times the U.S. government has publicly acknowledged that these strange aerial sightings by Navy pilots and others are worthy of legitimate scrutiny.
What about the documentary Independence Day?
Yeah, well, that is an interesting documentary. I encourage everyone to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
The report examined 144 incidents of what the government terms unidentified aerial phenomenon, only one of which investigators were able to explain by the end of the study. They found no evidence that the sightings represented either extraterrestrial life or a major technological advancement by a foreign adversary like Russia or China.
Oh, what the fuck else would...
I don't know. But acknowledge that it is a possible explanation. Quote, we were unable to identify one reported UAP with high confidence. In that case, we identified the object as a large deflating balloon.
Are they still going with the balloon bit?
Yeah, ever since whatever it was, 1947 or whatever, when Roswell.
Something like that.
Still a balloon.
Well, I'm still telling my wife that I'm good looking, and she still believes me, so I guess sometimes it just doesn't matter. You just stick with that story.
Of the 144 reports we are dealing with here, we have no clear indications that there is any non-terrestrial explanation for them, but we will go wherever the data takes us, a senior U.S. official said. But investigators were also convinced that the majority of the sightings were, quote, physical objects, the official told reporters on Friday. We absolutely do believe what we're seeing are not simply sensor artifacts. These are things that physically exist, the official said, noting that 80 of the reported incidents included data from multiple sensors. In 11 cases, pilots reported a, quote, near-miss collision with these strange objects. Still, the 9-page report makes clear that more work must be done to identify these objects, as the limited amount of high-quality reporting on unidentified aerial phenomenon hampers our ability to draw firm conclusions about the nature or intent of UAP.
So they don't know shit.
Yeah, that was a long-winded way of saying they don't. They're telling us they don't know anything.
So 9 pages, huh?
Yeah, 9 pages of, yeah, we don't know.
We don't know a single damn thing. Fuck off. I'm assuming that's what the pages said. I counted them on my hands.
Yeah, I saw that you did. Yeah. I sort of doubt that they phrased it that way, but it's still the same result.
They could have. So they did acknowledge that they are some kind of physical object. Mm-hmm. It is probably not extraterrestrial.
Well,
or made from China.
They're saying they don't have any evidence of either of those things.
Okay, so
I'd be willing to. I would.
It just happened to be something that no one in our government has seen, know, or understand what it is.
You know, I'd be willing to bet the entirety of the money I make doing this podcast that.
Hold on, whoa! You willing to put that on the line?
Yeah, all of that.
You willing to put that on the line?
All of that, nothing. Yes, I am very willing to put that on the line. I'm willing to bet that these actually are craft that are developed by some sort of pseudo government agency, like
G.I. Joe,
military contractor, like the
Megaforce.
No, like Northrop Grumman or Lockheed Martin and military contractors. There is a well documented program called the Skunk Works that they're both involved with that has been researching and developing strange technology for decades now.
I'm still, when I really think about this, look at this, over years and years of seeing this kind of stuff and being interested in it and having an uncle that worked in the Air Force and supposedly told my mother a lot of things because he was at the, Hangar 18 or the everywhere else. I'm still a firm believer that it's Cobra.
Well, you might not be wrong. Huh? They definitely didn't release any evidence to the contrary.
Are they shooting only red lasers?
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen any, but they may very well be.
Well, there you go.
Only red lasers, as opposed to the what?
The blue lasers.
Yeah, the blue laser.
Yeah, that's.
You want the blue lasers.
Yeah. You want blue laser.
Right.
Red laser bad, blue laser good.
Gotcha. Well, that's easy to remember.
I thought so. So let's continue to talk about nut jobs and go to Springfield, Missouri.
Okay.
A crowd of people gathered.
Are you saying everyone in Springfield, Missouri is a nut job? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, yeah. But beyond that, I'm talking about this particular crowd of people in Springfield, Missouri, downtown Springfield, Missouri, to be exact.
Oh.
And they attended the Birds Aren't Real rally.
Okay.
According to Peter Mickendo?
I think it's Mackendo.
Mackendo? There's no A. It's just an M and C. I don't say McDonald's.
I understand that. Well, some people do.
Yeah, they're the people from this place, Springfield, Missouri. According to Peter Mackendo, according to Peter Mack and me, with the Birds Aren't Real movement, all birds in the United States were killed by the government and replaced by federal drones.
Okay, great.
What makes me think that? I think the evidence is all around us. Birds sit on power lines. We believe they're charging on power lines. We believe that bird poop on cars is liquid tracking apparatus.
Oh, man. These conspiracies are deep, Dan. Very deep.
The movement, which has been fueled by online chatter as well as mysterious flyers posted in cities across the U.S., is currently on tour, and Springfield was its first stop.
That should give you a window into the caliber of the tour if its first stop is Springfield, Missouri.
Well, Ricky, Birds Aren't Real relies on internet-fueled guerrilla marketing to spread a silly message, it says here in this. This is not my words. I'm reading a copy here. Followers are poking fun at conspiracy theories like QAnon that have gone mainstream over the last few years. Mackendo is the creative muscle behind the avian-inspired conspiracy, according to the National Audubon Society. He first went live.
Wait. Yeah. The National Audubon Society bothered themselves to even make a statement about this guy.
Well, yeah, man.
I think that's some evidence that the conspiracy is real. If they felt the need to comment on it.
That's right, because they wouldn't have said anything if they knew it was. Yeah. Well, this.
Here we go. We're really getting to the bottom of this shit now.
I know, right?
Serious shit.
All right, so Peter McIntosh here first went live with Birds Aren't Real in January 2017 at the Memphis Women's March. Since then, the movement has gained a large... You okay over there?
Yeah.
Since then, the movement has gained a large fan base with over 360,000 Reddit subscribers. We need to get this guy on the podcast.
So
Get a bite of that.
you're suggesting that we try to book Peter Mac and Cheese for the podcast so we can really get the word on what's going on with these birds that are government robots or something, plants, something the government's created to surveil us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So by next week, I want to see if we can get Peter McNuggets on here so we could talk to you about these birds being fake.
Oh, well, I'll do my best to try to contact Peter Mac tonight to see if I can get him on the show and, you know, get his take on all this stuff.
Sounds good to me, man. You, yeah. So, I don't know, man. Maybe this Peter McFlurry's got something like up his sleeve about these birds. Maybe he knows something we don't.
I'll let you know if I'm able to get a hold of Mr. McPizza and have him on the show so that we can get his word on this phenomenon.
Okay. Well, do you want me to look up Mr. McSalad Shaker, or do you want to? I wonder if it's, you know what? Actually, it's probably under his government email, Mr. McCheese.
Yeah, Mayor McGee. Yes, okay.
Mayor. Yeah, he's a mayor, so I know. I should give him his proper title, Mayor McCheese.
All right, Dan, let's wrap this shit up finally.
Fancy bastard.
Jesus Christ. All right, Dan, let's wrap up in one of the greatest places on earth. Of course, I'm referring to Worcester, Massachusetts.
Don't be silly over there. What's this a mess?
Customers who
Bunch
want
of good eggs there.
I knew I shouldn't have done a Boston area story with you again. I should have learned my lesson.
Yeah, you should have.
Customers who wanted to grab a burger at Ralph's Tavern in Worcester Wednesday evening were able to pay in either cash or Monopoly money. For some reason.
Well, it's about the same value right now.
Yeah, pretty much. The tavern accepted Monopoly money for payment from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. in an attempt to get customers to vote for the tavern to be featured as one of the 34 locations on the upcoming Worcester, Massachusetts edition of Monopoly.
Jeez, they just make that shit out of everything now, don't they?
I guess. We were the first bar room that opened up after Prohibition in 1934, so we're the oldest tavern on Shrewsbury Street, said Scott Bove, owner of Ralph's Tavern. Hopefully we can get on the game board. In order to get Ralph's or any of the other 33 Worcester locations on the Monopoly board, send an email to regionals@toptrumps.com.
All right, Ricky. Let's say you get to make a Monopoly game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So this sounds like a really bad idea to put it there.
Sure.
If you could pick the worst place to make a Monopoly themed game from, where would it be?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
It's a good plan.
Listen, there is
a good plan.
First of all, I don't know why this is happening at all. There's no logic in it to me whatsoever.
Look at me. I laid it on free parking.
It's where you park the car for free.
It's free parking. Give me all my money at a minute. The fucking board.
But listen, even beyond this seeming pointless, as in I don't know why this Worcester, Mass.
Maybe we should make our own Nogaopoly.
Well, we'll get to that later.
Oh, good marketing.
We'll discuss that off air. Not only do I not understand the logic behind making the Worcester, Mass Monopoly, as in I don't know why it needs to exist, I think it's actually dangerous.
How so?
Because if you think about it, Monopoly is a game that destroys families and makes even the most reasonable among us angry enough to kill.
Yeah.
Even like Canadians. I'm sure there have been some knockdown dragouts with our friendly friends to the north over a rousing game of Monopoly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what the fuck's going to happen when you're encouraging Boston area people to get involved with this and fuck each other over?
They get all fucking hammered.
There's going to be like... There's going to be like fathers stabbed, you know what I mean? It's
you know what? I get all fucking hammered, go down to the Fenway Park and then play some Monopoly afterwards. I'll
fucking kill you, Sarah! You're fucking dead!
fuck you, Mark. You motherfucker.
You don't trade me St. James, I'll bury you.
It's chance, you cocksucker. You don't know what you're gonna fucking get. How the fuck do I know?
Yeah, well, your sister's got a community chest from what I've heard.
Yeah, luxury tax. It's a luxury that you get to live in this fucking house for free, you little fuck.
You piece of shit.
Ma, this cocksucker.
You're out. You're out tomorrow. It's going to be bad. It's going to be all bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be good.
It's not going to be good.
No. Much like this segment.
To quote one of my favorite comedians, Mr. Bill Burr, there's going to be some people thrown through the fucking wall over this game.
Yes, there will, Ricky. Well, Ricky, we're towards the end of the thing. I see all the papers are on the floor. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's the stuff. You know, we don't get that worked up about things like that. We're from Ohio or Kentucky in my case, and we're not as hot blooded as possibly Bostonians or
No,
people
we
in that part of the world.
just got wrapped up in the moment and sort of got into that frame of mind, and
We did.
glad that's over.
Hey everyone, I want to thank you again for being with us here on the big 18th episode of the pod, and we'd like to let you know that you can follow us on Facebook at Noka News Network, Twitter at News Noka, and you can send us an email at newsroom@nokanews.com.
Please like, share, comment on wherever you find this podcast. And please give us a call at the Noka News Network hotline. That number is 614-398-0770. Leave us a voicemail, and if it's funny, we'll use it on the show.
Yeah, we should have something. We should have one thing that's funny on the show. Hey, if you want to help support the show, you can tell your friends and family to give a listen. Of course, like Ricky said, you can like, comment, share. Don't smash that share button. It's not very nice.
No.
And you
Don't do
can
that.
absolutely go to the Noka News store and look at our merch.
That's nokanews.store. We've got brand new t-shirts, paranormal news and metal news t-shirts, along with the Florida Man t-shirt that came out a couple weeks ago and other fun merch
That's been a hot seller, Ricky.
that you might like.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's about time we got out of here before things get worse.
Yeah. Speaking of worse, I'm going to that Denny's.
Noka News Network.